Hi, it's Matt with Trout Soup. Today the wife and I are exploring the Indian Peaks Wilderness area. To access these lakes, we need our Jeep again. We're going to be going up the 4x4 trails. It's about an hour drive up the 4x4 road, and then a hike in to the Continental Divide. Our day starts around 12,000 feet, and it's cold up here. It's about 28 to 30 degrees. There is ice on the trail coming up, and it is windy. This is a view north looking across the Continental Divide and the valley below. We're going to be passing by about 4 lakes on our way to a secret little spot up and over that ridge. Hope we can make it. The trail systems up here are real good. Clear-cut trails from lake to lake. This is right off of the Continental Divide Trail itself. Here we decide to go off trail. We're making our way along the 11,200 foot topo line. We're going to follow the outlet stream across the meadow and up to a ridge. Now the final mile or so is completely off trail and pretty difficult hiking. If you're going to be doing a hike like this to one of these lakes, I highly recommend you be prepared with some first aid and a good pair of hiking boots. Hiking along this area of the mountains is very tricky. It's all off camber with a lot of loose rocks and boulders. You can see the scree field that we've had to cross. There's multiple scree fields. Down to the trees below, you're going to want to turn your volume up on this next segment. Now the wife fell down and hurt her knee and left shoulder pretty good, so we had to turn around from our destination lake within a half mile. And we fished a lake a little bit closer to the Jeep.
Can you talk to us and tell us how your current experience on a hiking trail to get over to Betty today? And what do you think about your guide?
I'm going to show you how to tie the clinch knot into your flies. We're going to take our line, or tip it, and go down through the eye of the fly. Now I've turned this fly upside down. I'm holding it by the bend of the hook so that I can get a better angle on the eye. Pull your line through. Now I'm going to show this to you with a piece of shoelace so that you can see what's happening here a lot better. So we've got this down through the eye of the fly. We've made a loop. Now you're going to wrap this around 5 times. For the purposes of this video and to show you the knot cinching up a little better, I'm only going to wind this around. As you can see, the shoelace doesn't work very well with 5 wraps. So we're just going to take it down to 2 wraps. But you're going to go around 5 times. And once you do that, you're going to take that tag end that's sticking out. My middle finger is going to go through there's a little eye there, a little loop in front of the eye of the fly. You're going to go through it. So you've got your wraps around it. Go through the loop that you've made. That's in front of the eye of the fly. Now you're going to want to moisten that knot. You're going to want to moisten the loops before you start cinching it down, especially on fluorocarbon, but also on mono, so that you don't damage the line when you cinch it. And that's it.
Take your fly out of the box. Hold it upside
This
down.
part here, I'm trying to do it
Go
right at the
down
lake
through the
and
eye
show
of the
you
fly.
where I've turned my fly upside down,
And tie a clinch knot.
going through the eye of the fly.
And what you're going to do with the clinch knot is you wrap it around 5 times, and that'll create a small loop right in front of the eyelet. Run it through there, moisten the knot really good, cinch it down. That's the clinch knot.
And trim your tag ends.
Twitch it, twitch it.
Good size too.
Yeah, these would be good eating size. 10-incher maybe?
This reminds me of Little Echo Lake
Yeah.
a little bit because of the snow. I didn't even get up. Why didn't you show them to the camera?
I did.
No, you didn't. I was.
Oh, you weren't paying attention.
No, I was going up like this.
Well, let's get another one. Oh, right by the shore. I mean, like 6 inches from shore, babe. Usually the bigger fish are shore, so. Oh, he's pretty.
Oh yeah, he is pretty. Nice.
Red fins, too. Took the little green dot fly, honey.
Bring him closer. Look at the red underneath his cheeks.
Yeah.
Under his throat. Got all that red there.
He's Purdy. All right, I'm gonna let him go.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Nice.
Oh, you.
When your tippet breaks and you need to add a new section of tippet to your leader, use the triple surgeon's knot. The other knot that I would suggest is the blood knot. This is the triple surgeon's knot. It's quick. If it's tied correctly, it's a very secure knot, but you have to tie it correctly. What you do is you start with taking the tippet, which is shown in light blue, and creating a loop. And you have the tag end, which is in black, of the leader. You're going to pull it through once, go around the loop, pull it through both ends twice, and then go around a third time, pull it through that circle, and that's the triple surgeon's knot, 3 times through. Now before you cinch this down, you start pulling on all 4 ends just to get it started and moisten it. Most people use saliva. I put my mouth over both ends of the line, get it nice and moist, and then you pull all 4 pieces of line. Pull them all 4 opposite directions, and a nice round spit bubble will form, and that's when you know you've got a good secure connection. Then you're going to pull both the leader in black to the left, and you're going to pull your tippet in light blue to the right. You're going to tighten that tag end, the leader at tag end in black, and the tippet tag end in light blue to secure that knot. And then I will pull both ends one more time before I trim those tag ends like I'm showing you in the video. Just trim them, and you can trim them very, very close to the knot. Here's the blood knot. The blood knot, you'll take your tippet in light blue, the leader in black, cross them like I did here. You're gonna want to use quite a bit of line for this knot, or at least I like to, since it makes working with the line easier. Take your tippet and start wrapping it front to back. You can go back to front, but as you'll see, you're gonna want to wrap the leader in the opposite direction that you do the tippet. So we're doing this one front to back around 4 times. 4 times if you're using small diameter tippets, 5 times maybe if you're using 6x to 7x, something like that. If you're using thicker diameter, you can do 2 wraps, 3 wraps. Go up, and that creates a little opening there. That's your tippet. And then now you're taking the black line, the tag end, and you're gonna wrap it around 4 times front to back, the opposite. Wrap it around 4 times. This line is just, again, shoelaces, but if you're using actual fishing line, it's actually easier. You wrap it around 4 times, and then we went up and through that hole in the center. We're going to go down through that same hole, like that. This line, again, you're going to want to lubricate well. Some people you will use oil, or if they carry it around with them, saltwater fishermen especially. Freshwater fishermen, you can just use saliva. Just moisten it with your mouth, and you can start cinching these down a little bit, the wraps. And then once you pull it tight, it'll cinch up, and it's a good knot, high breaking strength. Many fly fishermen prefer the blood knot over the triple surgeon's loop because it's a symmetrical knot and it's a very pretty knot, creates a low profile. The triple surgeon's loop I prefer because I fish in a lot of cold climate and cold water conditions with very small, fine tippets. So for me, it's easier to cinch up and make sure it's a 100% knot, the triple surgeon's loop. But the blood knot is a good one to know as well. With a fresh tippet and a new fly on, the wife decided to cast a little further into the lake. Now, we didn't get this guy on video for the take of the fly, but here he is. The Continental Divide plays host to many great dry fly fishing lakes. Get out there on the trails and explore them if you can. Even the sunset can remind you of a cutthroat trout.